We've come to a critical point of the game. Well, maybe one critical point of the game. And I'm not really sure how it works, so that possibly a decision you make here can affect how the characters act later on. We have two ways to go. I love you. You'll always be my dearest friend. The way she's acting right now is going on and saying I love you, I think could be one of the worst things if I'm to analyze the situation properly. Because she'll say don't waste your love on me, or you're just saying that make me happy. I think saying you'll always be my dearest friend is the way to go currently. That's only because I'm working, obviously she has feelings for Chuck, but because she's depressed, she doesn't feel those feelings can be anything more than just her stupidity or something. So saying I love you, I have a feeling would be like you'll always be my dearest friend. You'll always be my dearest friend. What you need most is for things to be like they've always been. Monica told me the truth. She told me how much happier you seemed after I joined the club. I know you're struggling with some really difficult feelings right now, but please trust me that I know what's best and what will make you happy in the end. I promise I'll help get things back to the way they were. I see. Sayori forces a smile as though through an incredibly pained expression. Haha. Is this what it feels like to get stabbed in the chest? I should write a poem about this. Sayori, it's okay. This is just my punishment, remember? For being so selfish. So please don't worry about these stupid feelings. I know you're right. I know this whole time that there's no happiness down that path. That's why I came here. Just so I could get the answer I needed to hear. And the other thing, you're also right that I just wanted to go back to the way it was. I realize that now. You really do know me better than anyone, Chuck. I'll trust you with anything. Anything at all. So her smile finally breaks. All of a sudden she turns around and drops to her knees. And I'm not going to do crying noises. Clutching her head with both hands, she screams as loudly as she can. I'm so shocked that I don't know how to react. Sayori looks over her shoulder and flashes me one more weak smile before turning around and running off. Sayori! I'm left helplessly standing in the front of my house. Why am I feeling so horrible about this? There's nothing more that I could have done. The most I can do is support Sayori through her feelings and help her on the path that's right. But I'm having as much trouble understanding Sayori's feelings as she is. Even though I can comfort her, I kept wondering if I should be doing something more or something different. I know these thoughts will continue to plague me until things are back to the way they were. I'm going to give it everything I've got. Sayori will always be my dearest friend. I'll do whatever it takes to put a smile on her face every day. It's the day of the festival. Of all days, I expect this to be the one where I'd be walking to school with Sayori. But Sayori isn't answering her phone. I considered going to her house to wake her up, but decided that's a little too much. Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. The banner Yuri and I painted is dry, and I gently rolled it up to take with me. She sent me a pleasant text reminding me not to forget anything, and I reassured her. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over than that so I can spend time with Sayori and Yuri at the festival. But knowing Monica, I'm sure the event will be great too. What did Monica tell Sayori? Chuck! You're the first one here. Thanks for being early. That's funny. I thought at least Yuri would be here by now. Monica is placing little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. They must be the ones she prepared that have all the poems we're performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monica would like, and submitted it. So that's the one I'll be performing. I'm surprised you didn't bring Sayori with you. Yeah, she overslept again. That dummy. You'd think that on days this important she'd try a little harder. I say that, but I suddenly remember what Sayori told me yesterday, and I suddenly feel awful, knowing it's not nearly that simple for her. I only said it because it's the way I'm used to thinking. But maybe I should have gone to wake her up after all? You should take a little responsibility for her, Chuck. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. You think you kind of left her hanging this morning, you know. Exchange? Monica, you know about that? Of course I do. I'm the club president, after all. But, I stammer, embarrassed. Did Sayori really tell her about it that quickly? About how I basically turned down her confession? That makes me really seem like the bad guy here. But I'm the one who knows what's best for her, right? Geez, you don't know the full story at all, so don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think. Huh? Monica is being as friendly as usual, but for some reason I felt a chill down my spine after hearing that. Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice. Yeah, sure. I grabbed one of the pamphlets laid out on the desks. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously. Yeah, I thought so, too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. Wait, what's history? It's like everything here. For the day. Let me do something here. I'm curious about how that would change. Allow me to do this. No. Load game now. Let me check this out here. I love you. Eh? Those are my true feelings. So there's no way you can like me more than I like you. I should have realized it sooner. But spending time with everyone at the club, making new friends, and having fun with you every day, it helped me realize that you are truly the most important person to me. That's why I'll accept any of your burdens. As long as we continue like this every day, with you by my side, then I know we'll both be happy. Chuck. Oh. Can I go back? Allow me to do this. They have a reason to do this anyway. Suddenly, Sayori wraps her arms tightly around me. Chuck. I thought about that wrong. Is this really okay? Yeah. I hold Sayori in my arms and pull her closer. You'll never have to let go of me again. I love you, Chuck. I want to be with you forever. Me too. I feel Sayori's grip around me weaken a little bit. What is this? Sayori? I'm supposed to be happy right now. I always thought this would be the happiest moment for me. But why? Even now. Why won't the rain clouds go away? They're not going away at all, Chuck. It's okay, Sayori. It might take some time for things to get better again. But no matter how long it takes, I'll be there every step of the way. That's all that matters right now. Okay. I trust you. Sayori and I slowly release each other. So, I guess that makes the festival tomorrow our first date, huh? Hehehe. What are you saying? I don't want to think about those things, you know? I want everything to be the same as it always has been. Even if we really are a couple. I don't know if I could handle anything more right now. It's really new and scary to me. I understand. We'll go at whatever pace suits you best. Hey, Chuck. Sayori gazes at me once again, smiling sadly. Even if I get really, really sad, this is the best thing for me, right? Huh? I don't really understand what Sayori means by that. Are you saying that this is making you feel sad, Sayori? I don't know. I don't understand what I'm feeling. I felt like a bunch of thorns when you told me you love me, but that's why I want to trust you. You know what's best for me. Yeah, I do. That's my promise. I say that, but in reality, I never felt more uncertain when it comes to Sayori. I know that I love her, and she loves me. I'm having as much trouble understanding Sayori's feelings as she is. Even though I can comfort her, I keep wondering if I should be doing something more or something different. I know these thoughts will continue to plague me until things are back to the way they were. There is a difference, but then in the end, we come with the same conclusion. That's why I wanted to check if there was a difference. Alright, so this is the path I'm going to continue on with this. I just want to confirm something. Is that not what I meant by not wanting to change? Anything to change? I don't know. But I know that I'll give it everything I've got. Sayori is the most important person to me. And I'll do whatever it takes to have a happy future with her. This could also end badly, though. It's the day of the festival. Of all days, I expected this to be the one where I'd be walking to school with Sayori. But Sayori isn't answering her phone. In the end, it doesn't matter. I considered going to her house to wake her up, but I decided that's a little too much. Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. The banner Yuri and I painted is dry, and I gently rolled it up to take with me. She sent me a pleasant text reminding me not to forget anything, and I reassured her. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend time with Sayori and Yuri at the festival. But knowing Monica, I'm sure the event will be great too. They don't change much, actually. It's mostly the same. It's just small things here and there, I find. Chuck! You're the first one here. Thanks for being early. That's funny. I thought at least Yuri would be here by now. Monica is placing little booklets on each of blah blah blah. They must be blah 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 blah. I've already read that. I'm surprised you didn't bring Sayori with you. Yeah, she overslept again. That dummy. You'd think that on days blah blah. She should try a lot harder. You should take a little responsibility for her, Chuck. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. You kind of left her hanging this morning, you know. Exchange? Monica, you know about that? Of course I do. I'm the club president after all. But, I stammer, embarrassed. Did Sayori really tell her about it that quickly? That we're a couple now? I didn't really plan on bringing it up with anyone yet. Jeez, you don't know the full story at all, so don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think. Huh? Monica is being as friendly as usual, but for some reason I felt that... Yeah. Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice. Yeah, sure. I grabbed one of the pamphlets laid out on the desk. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously. Yeah, I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognized Natsuki's and Yuri's poems from the ones they performed during our practice. What's this? I looked at Sayori's poem. It's different from the one she practiced. It's the one that I haven't read before. Get out of my head, 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 get out of my head before I do what I know is best for you. Get out of my head before I listen to everything she said to me. Get out of my head before I show you how much I love you. Get out of my head before I finish writing this poem. But a poem is never actually finished. It just stops moving. Oh, and there's a percent sign over there. Ah, what is this? Reading the poem, I get a pit in my stomach. Chuck? What's wrong? Ah, nothing. This poem feels completely different from everything else Sayori's written. But more than that, I changed my mind. I'm going to get Sayori, so... Ah, well, alright. Try not to take too long, okay? I quickly leave the classroom. Don't strain yourself. Monica calls out after me. I quicken my pace. What was I thinking? I should have tried a little bit harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal to at least wait for her or help her wake up. Even the simple gesture of walking her to school makes her really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things will be the same as they always have been. That's all she needs and what I want to give her. I reach Sayori's house and knock on the door. I don't expect an answer since she's not picking up her phone either. Like yesterday, I opened the door and let myself in. Sayori! She really is a heavy sleeper. I swallow. I can't believe I ended up doing this after all. Waking her up in her own house. That really is something that a boyfriend would do, isn't it? In any case, it just feels right. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori! Wake up, dummy! There's no response. I really didn't want to have to enter her room like this. Isn't it kind of a breach of privacy? But she really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. Sayo! Really? Really? She's already committed suicide that fast? An exception has occurred. Game script line. See traceback text or details. What the hell is... That's what I just said. What the hell? Is this a nightmare? It has to be. This isn't real. There's no way this can be real. Sorry I wouldn't do this. Everything was normal up until a few days ago. That's why I can't believe what my eyes are showing me. I suppressed the urge to vomit. Just yesterday, I told Sarah I would be there for her. I told her I know what's best and that everything will be okay. Then why? Why did she do this? How could I be so helpless? What did I do wrong? Confessing to her? I shouldn't have confessed to her. That's not what Sayori needed at all. She even told me how painful it is for others to care about her. Then why did I confess to her and make her feel even worse? Why was I so selfish? This is my fault. My swarming thoughts keep telling me everything I could have done to prevent this. If I just spent more time with her, walked her to school, and remained friends with her like it always has been, then I could have prevented this. I know I could have prevented this. Screw the literature club. Screw the festival. I just lost my best friend. Someone I grew up with. She's gone forever now. Nothing I do can bring her back. This isn't some game where I can reset and try something different. I had only one chance and I wasn't careful enough. And now I'll carry this guilt with me until I die. Nothing in my life is worth more than hers. But I still couldn't do what she needed from me. And now, I can never take it back. Never. 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 Well, this is a game though. End. Okay, so you're just trying to prevent her suicide? Is that what this is? Hey, look, the game's all messed up. It's just all... What's this thing here? I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but just kind of works out to be because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together and on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently. I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I can almost feel better off running away. However, I just saw an aisle in front of the crosswalk and let catch up to me. It's an already school than any other. Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. I always tell myself it's about time I meet some girls or something like that. But I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. School day is as ordinary as ever and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. There really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Chuck! Hi! Monica? Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right? Ah, yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we weren't in the same class as last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic, basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... What did you come over here for anyway? Oh, I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. You know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers? I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right? About that. I actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club. Literature? That sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far? It's kind of embarrassing, but there's only 3 of us so far. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that, but it's really not boring at all, you know? Literature can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. Are they going to try and do jump scares on me? Because that's kind of cheap. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room. Wait, really? Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member's a member, right? Did Monica just say she? Hey, Chuck. By any chance, are you still looking for a club to join? Ah, I mean, I guess so, but in that case, is there any chance you would do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at the very least visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please? Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse something like someone like Monica? They mentioned a text file. I'm curious about that, if that even exists. I have to go into my files here, though. Steam library. Doki Doki Literature Club. They mentioned Happy Thoughts. There's a picture here. But it's not really Happy Thoughts. We have characters, DLC, game, lib, Renp. I don't even know if this thing actually exists. Am I supposed to, like, figure out what went wrong or something? There's traceback.txt. Is that... Oh, that's the thing, I think. Let's open it up quickly. I'm sorry, but an uncommon exception occurred. While running game code, file script reply... I'm just reading through it quickly. I didn't break anything, did I? Hold on a sec. I can probably fix this, I think. Actually, you know what? This would probably be a lot easier if I just deleted her. She's the one who's making this so difficult. Haha. Well, here goes nothing. It's like an error. But it's a fake error. It's a fake log of an error that happened. So basically what happened is unfreeze, roll back, raise renp.game, restart time. Oh jeez, I didn't break anything, did I? Hold on a second, I can probably fix this, I think. Actually, you know what? This would probably be a lot easier if I just delete her. She's the one who's making it so difficult. Well, here goes nothing. I'm pretty sure it's referring to Sayori in this error file or traceback. It's a fake error, basically. Sure, I guess I could check it out. Aha! Awesome! You're really sweet, Chuck, you know that? It's nothing, really. Shall we go, then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. You know, and thus today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. I timidly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school that I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Now, when she's referring to 3 members, is she only referring to her as included, or is that the unknown member that causes the glitch? Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Oh, I'm back, and I brought a guest with me. Eh? A guest? Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club, Chuck. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. So let me guess. You're Monika's boyfriend, right? What? No, I'm not. Natsuki, the girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the vice president. It's nice to meet you. Yuri, who appears comparatively more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. So I ran into Chuck in the classroom and he decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monika, didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know, sorry. I didn't forget that, but I just happened to run into him. I think Monika is the problem here. She's not included in any of these other things, and she seemed to have told Sayori something. Probably to kill herself. I bet it's Monika's fault, actually. There was no preventing it. I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Chuck? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monika and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monika. So, I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I'm just reading the same text as previous, though, and it's just the weird glitch changes that are different. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile, but it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess. Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monika must have worked really hard just to find these two. Yuri returns to the table, carrying his tea set. She carefully places the teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't the hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Hehe, don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. Eh? That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, Chuck, what kinds of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga, I muttered quietly to myself half-drunkenly. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? And also, there's a question. Is there another one chicken that's going to kill herself in this one? Or is Chuck going through a manic depression after seeing his friend kill herself? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her fingers. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The love of creativity and craftsmanship. I'm kind of annoyed at reading the same thing again, though. It's amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can also so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Haha, I expect it from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. Oh, is that so? Really, if a story makes me think or it takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Oh, why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud! I give that back. Fine. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them with sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. We're all sitting in silence for a moment. Hey, I just got an idea. How about this? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then the next time we meet, we all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monika. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take on the responsibility of vice president after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, now we have a new member. It seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Chuck? Hold on, there's still one problem. Huh? What's that? Now that we've reached the most important topic, I boldly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I already said I would join this club. Monika may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All three girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought, Huh? The girls exchange glances before Monika turns back to me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, Chuck. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4, and I've been trying to really hard to find new members. I'm pretty sure it was 5 at one point, but you changed that because we're missing so inconveniently. If we don't find one more before the festival, I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I would feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. So if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls, right. Okay, I decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Chuck? Yeah. It could be fun, right? You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just left after all this, I would be super pissed. Chuck, I'm so happy. We can become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay? Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Chuck, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Hee. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow then. I can wait. I can't wait. With that, I depart from the club room and make my way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the 3 girls. Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright, I just need to make the most of my circumstances and I'm sure good fortune will find me. I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Okay, so in the poem... Yes. It's all blanked out. I can't even read it, any of it. So now we're down to 2. Fireworks. Fireflies. Cute. Extraordinary. Unending. Entropy. At this point, I'm just choosing random words. Boop! Just because I want to choose boop ribbon. Doki Doki. Climax. Eternity. Cheeks. Parfait. Scars. Desire. Inferno. Portrait. Depression. Whoa! Hi again, Chuck. Hey, that's the picture I saw. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. Is it because I chose depression, or is that going to happen regardless? This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Chuck. Her face turned weird, and I just noticed it at the end. And the music's kind of off. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Whoa! Oh, come on. Like he deserves any slack. You already had to be dragged here by Monika. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Whoa! You're on a text! I can't read! Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monika and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back in her seat. I'm sorry, Chuck. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance. Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might have interest in picking up a book to read. Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now, so it only feels right for me to do something like that if you ask. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. No, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try to be a part of this club, so even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. Are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. This is How Is This Girl Accidentally Being So Cute? She even picked out a book she thinks that I'll like, despite me not reading much. She's the next to go. And does the classroom feel tilted? Or is it always like, some of these feels off? Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Oh, it was off. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. And I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. Looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah, crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so that's the book that you gave me, right? I wanted to reread some of it, not for any particular reason. Just curious, how can we have two copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's the story about anyway? Well, I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison. And the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. But the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to... Oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler. But anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean. Not the thing about the limbs. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yeah, we seem to be I don't think I've seen this part before, so I think we're focusing more on Yuri. Are you not a fan of this sort of thing, Chuck? Well, with hints of Sayori still lingering in the background, she's not permanently gone. So that begs the question about what type of ending I'm expecting to get here, if there even is a real ending. No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy these kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that this kind of story, it's the kind that challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective. So my thinking is now, should I have done everything possible to try and make Sayori happy in the first part? Or was her suicide in it? Because to get to this part, to messed up part, you have to have something be the trigger. And to be able to not have Sayori kill herself would make the game uneventful, I would think. So I have a feeling you kind of had to get to that point, maybe. Oh, hey, kitty spam. Hey, I'm mentioning you here. I just typed to you while here. Alright, it's the kind that challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyway. Then suddenly... I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. but I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, my whole body gets... Whoa! I wanted to actually read it. I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? Yes! I mean, you don't have to, but... what are you saying? Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book and I put it in my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? Let me just see what he wrote. Alright, I just want to see. I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something that I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I still understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just bathing in this... Oh, come on! What's the point if I can't even finish the sentence? You let me finish the other ones. I'm not even clicking at that point. Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Haha. Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. She turns the page. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn the page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. You also have her bosom in your line of sight, I guess. Then I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. Hey, what happened to the poem anyways? I guess we're not doing that anymore. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. Anyway, I'll close this chat for now. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We'll continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but are you coming on to me? Haha! The main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really? I was just thinking the way she second guesses things she says and all that. I feel like this part's going a lot slower than the last one. I think because we're kind of in a weird way. I don't know. That's what you were talking about. Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. We didn't even get that far yet. So I don't know why that came into my head. Ha ha ha. Yuri, are you feeling alright? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing's a little... My breathing? Yuri puts her hand to her chest as if to feel her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water. Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Chuck? Did something happen just now? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything. Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her? Oh, no, not really. I was just making sure that you didn't do anything to her. No, nothing. Haha, don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start with sharing our poems with each other? Oh, finally. Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a while, so I just figured we'd get started without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. Well, we only got Natsuki and Monica. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair I shared mine with her first. Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. That's a little bit blunt. Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It's just it just didn't evoke any emotions. So basically it's not cute enough for your taste? I have a feeling the poem's not gonna be exactly what I'm anticipating, but then I'm anticipating it, so then it's exactly what I'm anticipating, which is a weird thing, right? Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass. Well anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Eagles can fly, monkeys can... Oh, it's the same thing. That's not what I was anticipating. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. History, skip, auto, save, loads. I'm just curious about settings. I get, well, not the things on the, why are they so there so bluntly? Like history is basically the text I just went through, pretty much. All right, return. Skip, I don't even want to try. Auto, save, load, whatever. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with the last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Monica, you bitch. Something off about her. The fact that she's not in any of the choices. Hi, Chuck. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new in everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or other things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Ha ha ha. Don't worry, Chuck. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I handed Monica my poem. Great job, Chuck. I was going to say oh in my head while reading it. It's really a metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. Isn't that what she said later on? It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I... This is like the third time we did the poem. When I put some effort. Haha, that's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind just totally detached from reality. I don't mean that like it's a bad thing, though. But sometimes I get the impression that she's just totally given up on people. She spends so much time in her own head that it's probably a much more interesting place for her. That's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interactions, so don't blame her for coming on a little strongly. Like earlier, I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for a alone time. Suddenly the door opens. Yuri! I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. Well, we all started sharing our poems with each other. Eh? Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm more than glad that you took all the time you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should go get my poem now. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know. I see. Well, let's read it then. Hell on the wall. I've already read this damn thing. Boom. So what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the time between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Well, Yuri's next. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. Huh? What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Huh? I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Where did I last save? Oh. There are no saves anymore. They deleted my save, so you can't go back! Then looks at the poem again. Well, I know that. It just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kinda learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in the new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick up a writing style separate from the topic matter and they fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased though. Sorry, I'm probably gonna end this soon. I think as soon as I hit like the next milestone, I like to call it, that's when I'm gonna end it because there's a lot of reading and stuff to do. And I am also tired still. Okay. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me, or Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be the literature club? And I think I probably read this, so we can blank. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking of that at all. But it took you a long time to read. No, because I actually just clicked out right away, so it doesn't even matter. Ah. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Huh? That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Chuck. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, I'm able to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. Sounds like this game! That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of it. That's impressive. Huh? It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Chuck. Me too. Phew, I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even though just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. Oh, the music's getting weird again. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Monica is writing something in her notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Huh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clear about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. Just gotta scratch my back. I got burnt. I can still feel it itching. I was trying to say something nice. Huh? You mean you have to try hard to come up with something nice to say? Oh boy, how are we gonna deal with this without Sayori around? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. Huh. If I was looking for a suggestion, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Monica liked it, and Chuck did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Chuck liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki slowly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Huh? That's not what you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Chuck appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know that he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go on my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Chuck started showing up. Natsuki! Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. Taking out your own insecurities on others like that. You really act as young as you look, Natsuki. Me? Look who's talking. You wanna be edgy, bitch? Whoa, edgy? Sorry that my lifestyle is too much for some of your mental age to comprehend. See? Just saying that proves my point. Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know? If you want to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by dressing and acting cute? The only cute thing about you is how hard you try. Whoa, be careful. You might cut yourself on that edge, Yuri. Oh, my bad. You already do, don't you? Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the fuck is wrong with your head? What the fuck is this? Yeah, go on. Let Chuck hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after this. Suddenly Yuri turns toward me as if she just knows I was standing here. Chuck! She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. How did I get... What's the point if I can't read it? What the fuck is this? Yuri? Natsuki? Yuri? Natsuki? 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 Yuri? Doesn't really matter, does it? Hi, Monica! Hey, Chuck. Why don't we step outside for a little bit? Okay? Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. Hahaha. Some president I am, right? I can't even confront my own club members properly. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive sometimes. But I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend time with you instead. Suddenly Natsuki runs out of the classroom. She's crying. She quickly runs away. Oh dear. Well, it looks like they are done. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yuri is rocking back and forth at her desk with her palms on her forehead. Yuri? I didn't mean it. I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki. Or did. Chuck, please don't hate me. Please. I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget all about it by tomorrow. Completely. Anyway, the meeting is over, so you can go home if you want. Yuri looks at me like she wants to say something, but she keeps glancing at Monica. You can go first, Monica. I'd like to stay a little bit longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today. It kind of sounds like you don't want me to be around for something, Yuri. It's not that. It's not that. I didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Chuck. It would just be embarrassing with you listening. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing trouble. But I really appreciate... Whoa! We just skipped to here right away. This is where I'm going to save it then, I guess. Because I'm done reading for the moment. Alright, this is some weird shit going down. And I have no idea where it's going to lead to. Anyways, next time, more weirdness as I choose words for a poem. How about that? Anyways, so long.